With Jeff Sargent with Pinnacle Mortgage, a division of ONB Bank, on the mortgage meltdown and how much attention this is getting and how much fear it's driving in the market. Do we need to be afraid?
I don't think here in the Midwest we need to be afraid. I just think we need to be aware that there were and are predators who will try and, yeah, there are people that want to put you in loans that you don't belong in, because a lot of times you'll be told you have credit issues and really they're minor.
We've talked about this a lot, and I want this to always be a positive program. Mm-hmm. And yet, of each of our professions, there are people who may not have the customer or consumer's best interest at heart. And what you're talking about is something that made national attention. The government's been involved, and it's called predatory lending.
Yep.
And that is giving people a loan, letting them obligate themselves to something that they never should have done in the first place.
Yeah.
There's one thing for a loan person to sell a loan, because that's how they make a living and go on. It's another to peddle something and squeeze people into something, telling them it's okay, and in reality, it's ruining their lives.
Yeah, the good lenders, it's kind of like back in the old days in the 70s, we were saying there's a hole in the ozone, you better change. We were doing the same thing in the banking industry, and we were saying those kind of loans are going to create havoc one day. And that day came about 2 months ago when they finally said, gosh, we've got problems. And it's because of those loans that they gave away that they shouldn't have done.
And those loans, describe them.
What they were, like name your payment loan, we talked about that.
Yes.
We joked about it on the last show.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it was like, well, what do you want your payment to be, Darryl? And you'd say, well, $100 or something like that.
Well,
it's
here's
like,
how you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, we'll give you that. And you'll sign the papers, and
well, to some degree, that's
reading it, but
that's customer service. We're going to find a way to give you what you want.
Yep.
But there's also a responsibility to that customer service.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with financial situations and the fact that sometimes people don't know or understand the ramifications of the decision they're making, and sometimes companies may be eager to do whatever it takes to make that buck. Once it's done, they're going to sell that loan to someone else. The risk is someone else. Well, these investors were buying these loans because when you are a home buyer, you get your loan, you get it from XYZ Mortgage, they're just going to sell that to someone else and get more money so they can make more loans, and that's the way the process works. So people are getting hurt.
Yep. And what's sad is a lot of retirement funds, mutual funds, invested in these hedge funds, which had these subprime loans in them. And so now it's around the world. And so we've seen housing prices fall. In other sectors, not in Tulsa, we're stable. We're the second best in the union.
Well, and that getting a lot of national attention for that. There's something to be said. We didn't have these great upward trends, but there's something to be said about stability.
It's nice.
481-6833, 481-6833. If you really want to understand what's happening and how it'll affect you if you're getting a home loan, find out from an expert. Call Jeff Sargent, Pinnacle Mortgage, a division of ONB Bank. I'm Darryl Baskin. You've been watching The Future of Real Estate, DarrylBaskin.com, and you can call us at 258-2600. You can sell a home or buy a home. Give us a ring. We'll see you next week.
Blah, 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 blah.